There's a terrifying story here about treatment of immigrants in America. So listen to this. This is from The Hill. They explain, an undocumented immigrant diagnosed with a brain tumor while in Immigrations and Customs Enforcement custody was returned to a detention center from a Texas hospital, her lawyers said. The woman, a Salvadoran national identified only as Sarah, was released from Hughley Hospital in Fort Worth, Texas, and taken to Prairie Land Detention Center against her will. Her lawyer said the following: she told us they tied her hands and ankles in her condition. She's complaining of a lot of pain. So also she was eventually cut off of communication with her family, and then eventually even cut off from communication with her lawyer. And she complained of profuse nosebleeds, long-term memory loss, and she didn't receive adequate treatment even when at the hospital. Guys, she has a brain tumor. The doctors actually said, we're going to need to operate on her. And then ICE said, thanks but no thanks, and they just took her back to a detention center. A woman with a brain tumor was jacked from a hospital and put in a detention center even though she was going to have surgery shortly. Is this what we've become? I mean, I don't care what your political identity is. I don't care where you fall on the spectrum. I really don't. Can't we all look at this and say, you know what? A touch too far. Even if you are an ultra-conservative Republican, can you look at this and say, here's my position on it. You give her the help that she needs because she's got a brain tumor and perhaps she's about to die. Maybe it's late stage. They got to operate on her. So after you take care of the problem, well, then you deport her. Like, okay, I disagree with you because there's no indication that she's ever committed a crime, so I wouldn't deport her. But if you're of the opinion, I would still deport her, okay, but can you at least acknowledge that the right thing to do from a moral perspective, from an ethical perspective, is to give her the treatment that she needs? If you can't acknowledge that, the spectrum of debate in the United States of America is off a cliff on the right. I mean, this is authoritarian shit here. I'm not uncomfortable using the F word here, fascism. You have somebody who has a brain tumor who's about to get an operation. And they say, no, you're an immigrant. You're an undocumented immigrant. Off to the detention center you go. Who knows? Look, they're going to have to do follow-up articles on this story here because who knows what the hell happens from here? I mean, judging by the symptoms, she ain't in early stage cancer, bitch. That's late. That's along the way. If you got memory loss and profuse nosebleeds, and she also complained of incredible headaches. So we're talking about you shipped her back to the detention center. She could just die. This is the United States of America and somebody who desperately needed medical care. We said, no, not even close. By the way, should we even really be surprised? I mean, I've given you guys the number before. I guess it just doesn't sink in no matter how much we talk about it. But there are 45,000, according to a Harvard study, 45,000 people die every year in the U.S. because they don't have access to basic health care. There's our death panels. Our death panels, people say, in single-payer systems, they ration care. And what the fuck do you think we're doing here? Just there, they ration care by need. Hey, do you need a surgery now? You're going to get a surgery. Come on. Oh, yours is elective? You might have to wait a little bit. Here, what do? How big's your wallet? Oh, you're poor? Sorry, get to the back of the line. You're not getting any help. But I need the surgery. I'm about to... I don't care. This is how we ration care in the U.S. You're rich, you go to the front of the line. You're poor, you go to the back of the line. You're an undocumented immigrant. There is no line for you, motherfucker. Go back to the detention center with your fucking brain tumor. Let me know how that goes. You know, we always, we're number one. What the this is number one in cruelty, if anything. If this person's in any other modern nation, literally, they get the surgery. There's no question about it. And they get it quickly because they need it. This person, any other nation, modern nation, and nations that are not quite modern, they would still get the help that they need. Come on, man. Come on. Because of how backwards we are on immigration, we may have just sentenced a 26-year-old woman, by the way, that's how old she is, to die. That may have just happened. And I don't even know how to remedy it, because what do? Hey, sue them and die before you even get a verdict? This is a wrong that cannot be made right. How do you make it right? You know how you make it right? You bring her back to the hospital now and give her surgery. But even then, it might be too late, man. It might be too late. The symptoms here are disastrous. This is shameful. Now, look, under Obama, it is true that he broke the record for deportations. Now, I'm against that. You know, I'm fine with deporting people who are criminals. I am. If you're an undocumented immigrant and you commit a crime, go away. The fuck are you doing here? You're going to come here and commit crimes. Piss off. The majority of the people that Obama deported were criminals. But everyone that wasn't, that's egregious. Anyone who was deported who was a criminal, who committed a crime that's not even really a crime or shouldn't be a crime, like a low-level drug crime, a nonviolent crime, piss off. You should have let him stay. With Trump, we are getting to the point now, I've never seen a story like this before, where, I mean, this is really some next-level barbaric shit. And I think we're going to see a lot more of this moving forward, and it's scary to see it. I mean, everybody knows Lilith from Secular Talk. She reached out to me the other day, said her kid came home crying, and she's trying to figure out, like, what happened? I don't understand what's going on here. Turns out his best friend, ICE did a raid in the middle of the night. Grabbed his best friend, shipped him out. Or the family members, were grabbed and shipped out. He was born here, so technically, because we have birthright citizenship, well, you can't do anything with him. We'll wait on that one, too. But the family, taken away, middle of the night. Criminals? Probably not. Who cares? With Trump so far, at the beginning, they said 75% of the people they're deporting are convicted criminals. Well, my first question is, again, what kind of crimes? If you're talking about low-level drug offenses, nonviolent offenses, I don't think that should count. But now they changed the criteria and they said, well, look, if you've been charged with a crime, even if you're not guilty, even if you were found not guilty and cleared, we're still going to deport you. What? And now they're just adding on to that list. This is not good, man. This is not good. What kind of a message does this send to the rest of the world? And what does this say about us? We got to stand up and fight back against this. Protect the most vulnerable among us. I mean, it's that simple. You know, I just told you. Perhaps I'm somewhat moderate on this front because I say if you're a criminal, leave. I'm fine with the deportations of them. But anybody who's not, guys, you do know that undocumented immigrants contribute over $10 billion a year in taxes, right? You do know that the overwhelming majority of them come here just to create a better life and work hard. And we've done experiments with far-right ideologies on this front too, and they failed. So, for example, putting the ethics and the morality of it aside, a place in Alabama decided, we're done with these undocumented immigrants, let's ship them all out. They were begging for them back in a month and a half because turns out they do a lot of vital work for the economy. So they're just wrong. If you have a far-right position on immigration, you're just wrong. And don't you dare ever say a goddamn word about Jesus Christ or Christianity. Because this is quite possibly the least Christian thing you could do with the New Testament, with Jesus and all of his happy moods. I mean, this is just low-level barbaric shit. Would Jesus deny this poor woman the brain surgery that she needs because of her tumor? I don't think so. So why would you?